The leaves of Letchworth State Park are about to hit peak color. The reds, yellows, and oranges of the nearly 120-year-old park attract thousands of visitors each year. So what keeps people coming back? Generation after generation.
Are you sleeping?
I went to Letchworth to find out.
You having fun?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you've been liking your hiking?
Yes. Yeah.
Meet Melissa and Greg Armand, along with their kids, Lena and Eliza. They came here 4 years ago while she was pregnant with her first daughter. Now they have 2 daughters, and they're back. Talk about generations.
We were staying at the Finger Lakes and just Googled things to come do, and we came up here this summer and it was beautiful. And then we kept talking about coming back in the fall to see all the leaves and everything.
They traveled here from Baltimore 300 miles, finding a destination unlike any they'd see near home.
The closest we get to mountains is if you go out to Western Maryland. We have small mountains but no gorge, so it's very different. We're very outdoorsy people, so it's nice to see things in different seasons. The movement to preserve lands has increased the last few years, and I think it's really important that we preserve nature for our children to be able to see. If we industrialize everything, when they get older, they won't have this to come to.
Oh, there are worse ways to spend a morning.
Right.
This is Conrad Baker.
That's what I figured.
He's an environmental educator with New York State Parks and an expert in the memories of generations of parkgoers.
Every time somebody comes to Letchworth, it gains a preservation friend. Somebody who comes to Letchworth State Park from New Zealand or South Africa or all around the world comes to experience this place and sees the Genesee River and the mighty canyons and the falls, and they immerse themselves in the history of the little mill towns that were here and the story of Mary Jemison, the Indian captive, and they really understand that this is a nationally significant place. Mm-hmm. So there are people now who have come and gone, maybe just once, who just remember and have that impact in their mind of this is a very obscure but very precious place. And whatever we can do to help to preserve it and to share that legacy and that story with the world is time very well spent.
Among the newest preservation friends, you can count these two, Finn Boy and his close friend Melanie, who came a very long way on a whim. They're making a cross-country trip from Oregon to Boston, and they found Letchworth online. It said it would be a great place to see fall foliage, and they decided to stop by and take a look.
We went to a couple places for this trip, and this is probably the best. It have bridge, it have waterfall. Color-wise, it's much more vibrant than other places we visit.
Do you think you'll be back?
Definitely, I will be back.
Selfie? They left with a souvenir of sorts for their 2,500-mile trip home. Eric Such is from much closer to the park, Arcade, New York, just a trip down the road.
I've grown up in Wyoming County my whole life, and it's one of those things where my family came here. I started coming here as I grew up, and now I've brought friends and family. Generationally, it really impacts a lot of people. Because you talk a lot about how, my grandparents came camping here, and then my parents did it, now I'm doing it, now I'm doing it with my kids. And so I think there's just always that connection generationally to people, to the views, to just the memories and experiences they have here.
When he's not getting attacked by leaves.
That was wild. Dangerous.
He's working as the director of tourism for Wyoming County, which includes part of Letchworth.
Visitors annually in the park, there's over 1 million. And one of the most popular times of the year is leaf peepers. Letchworth State Park is the Grand Canyon of the East. So you can come here and see, almost 15,000 acres of mostly unspoiled nature. So for a month and change, you just get a ton of people coming into the park because you get these beautiful shots of the gorge, the waterfalls, the trails, just the woods in general. It's also good for the local economy, just local businesses, restaurants, breweries. So it's a great opportunity for people to not only explore the park, but the local communities around the park. On a national level, there's incredible attractions, there's incredible sites, there's incredible things for people to come and do here. And they don't have to break the budget, and they don't have to travel halfway across the world to do it.
Are there any trends that you've seen with the leaf peepers coming? Like, have you seen increases? Have you seen decreases?
I think so far, I think it's been pretty steady. There have been times in the past where there was so many people in the park that the park had to temporarily close sections.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like just all the parking spots were taken, like people were parking on the side of the road.
Apple cider, some fried cakes.
One of the things we talked about a lot during COVID was like so much stuff shut down. We sort of naturally social distance just because there's so much space.
Right.
And so you saw so many people come into Letchworth just to get out. I think there was a real appreciation for the natural environment that we have here, just like the immense amount of nature.
Yeah.
Talking about generational stuff, like I think there was a whole generation introduced to areas of our community for the very first time, and now they've continued to come back and bring friends and family and bring their kids, like, so that's how it starts, I guess.
Yeah. See this pink right here? It means Gorge Trail. If you turn away from the pink, you end up down there. You don't want that. See, I told you, when you walk off the pink trail, you're gonna walk toward an area where you're not supposed to be. Like that. And I've made that mistake before, and I will continue to make that mistake for the rest of my life, probably. I could go for the Belgian waffle and some coffee. I spoke with another couple by the lower falls who said they hadn't been here in 40 years. They say they're not going to take it for granted this time.
This is Molly, and that's Finn.
And their owners are Kristen and Tim Kennedy, Florida snowbirds who still have a place 60 miles away in West Seneca.
I knew it was here. We came here like in high school, but we never really took advantage of it as adults.
Do you see yourself making this trip more often now to Letchworth, now that you've
Oh yeah, if we had people coming into town to visit, yeah, this would be definitely a place
It'll be
to bring
on
them.
our tourist guide
Yeah,
schedule.
absolutely.
I talked to some officials from the park and some people from around about like the generations of people who come to the park too. And they talk about the preservation too of the park. And is that a part of why you guys go to these different parks and are in the outdoors a lot? Is like you're keeping up the preservation and the interest in these kinds of things?
I like it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So I think as we walk through, I walk through it, I kind of notice like, you know, a lot of work, it's all those steps that they have to maintain, and it's just a lot, and it's just beautiful.
What I love about it is the fact that the history. You can come here 40 years later and remember coming here as a kid.
Yeah.
And bringing your family and passing it on, because like the bridge they built, I mean, it's going to be 100 years old soon.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, but it's like going back in time. Some things don't change, and it's still very natural, even though it's 2025.
Yeah. I like to stop at all the little, well, we both like to stop at all like the little historical spots of the park, you know, little monuments and things like that. And to this point, read about the history of it and stuff.
And that's where, you know, older, we appreciate it more. You know, young kids, they don't, but it's, you know, like I said, she could have been 6 and sitting there on that bench, and now 40 years later, and she's 46.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's a big enough a stretch, but okay. Let's go
Work with me, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's on camera.
40 or 40.
Exactly.
Though they don't know each other, the family's starting a new tradition, the cross-country travelers, the man keeping his childhood memories alive, and the retirees rediscovering a place they'd taken for granted. Share a bond best described by Conrad Baker.
There's an incredible fellowship of people around the world that have come to Letchworth and gone back home. So they all remember this place, and they see the photos online and they say, oh yes, I was there, I was married there, or I went to a beautiful birthday there. It's a really cool place, and it's woven through like so many stories around the whole world.